Being an original is the only way to follow your purpose, to live your dream life, to expand and to grow into the blueprint of who you were always meant to become. Hi everyone, and again, Happy New Year. In this video, I want to talk about the importance of originality and the role that being an original plays in bringing your dreams to life. So my word for the year 2026 is original. That word literally came to me on January 1st. Here's why. Actually, let me start explaining why with a little anecdote. Okay, so me back in university. So English literature was a main area of study for me. I would read the book, I would analyze the book into pieces. I'd do excellent work. I would spend hours upon hours gathering the sources of other people, the people with the big names who had already analyzed that same book, matching my own results with quotes from other people. That was how I could justify my personal analysis. It was accurate because somebody else had already proven the same things. My own findings basically liquefied in other people's quotes. The final term paper was a reflection of my ability to gather other people's resources and not my ability to analyze it myself to come to the same conclusions. Because the conclusions of one random student didn't matter that much. Less originality meant sticking to the scientific rules, to the university rules. And I found that to be frustrating. And what it led to was that I saw my own originality, but the end result did not reflect that. I've started to realize that that is somehow what most people are doing with their lives. Originality can only unfold once we stop limiting our own self-expression with other people's perspective. And that's the main point why I'm telling you this. I chose the word original for this year 2026 to remind myself of the value of my perspective and to shift the expectation that I have about how that perspective is gonna be perceived. Because it all comes down to the expectations of how the original that we know ourselves to be at our core is gonna be met by the collective. And that expectation is the intersection point where self-limitations and self-sabotage attach to the system, overwriting the true self-imprint in order to maintain a greater level of conformity with the system, with the collective, in order to maintain safety, belonging, because we are social creatures and belonging equals safety equals survival. And expressing originality freely always comes at the risk of threatening belonging, safety, survival. And at the same time, originality is the nature of our true essence, of our core, of our soul energetic imprint. Being an original is the only way to follow your purpose, to live your dream life, to expand and to grow into the blueprint of who you were always meant to become. And who you were always meant to become is who you have always already been at your core, without the conditioning, without the limitations, without the blocks, without the conformity to conventions. At your core, you already are an original. And no matter which word you chose for your year 2026, I really want to encourage you to take this perspective from this video about being an original with you. Take it into the year with you and remember that anything you want to make happen, any dream, any desire, any creative impulse followed, any inspiration is gonna be a result of you being tapped into your core, your essence, your true nature, being tapped into the original that you are. Your talents, your individual perspective, your creative impulses, the specific individual ways in which you are inspired, your original perspective on this world. on your life. Your chance to be an original light for others this year. Your chance to shine your light in the way that nobody else could shine that light, because it's your light, your mosaic of experiences, your uniqueness. The collective asks nothing more of us than to conform to the greater good of that collective. Your true nature asks nothing more of you than being an original, the original that you already are at your core underneath the conditioning. The only job you gotta do is release yourself from the cage that you keep legitimizing with other people, with outer circumstances, deflecting the reasons for why it is not safe for you to do the thing, say the thing, feel the thing, make that decision, pivot in that direction, do something completely new, follow that creative impulse. Let yourself be guided by that inspiration all over the place. For me, this word that I chose for 2026, original, it's so in sync with everything I've said in the past months in these videos. It's about being more of you, being less of other people's expectations, being less of your own old programming, which is still, no matter if it's other people's expectations, your old programming, it is all from the same source, because you are auto-generating your entire reality, your entire 3D world. You are auto-generating both the chances and the blocks. You are auto-generating both the opportunities and the limitations. You are auto-generating the path you let yourself walk. Through the conventions, through the expectations, through the values, through the old belief systems, through the trauma, through the need for safety. The path that is left is the path that unfolds before your eyes. The path of conditioning. And it will always enable you to walk in a certain direction. The question is that direction in sync with what you want to be creating in this life? Is it in sync with what you came here to do, to say, to be, to grow into, to expand into? And of course, I did not say the word state in this video today, but of course it goes into the mix, because it is all one truth, one principle. You are auto-generating the opportunities and the limitations from the state you're in. Mental emotional state, body awareness state, nervous system state, and underneath still the energetic container hosting the state, hosting the 3D output that you perceive as input, because it appears as the 3D logical, tangible, dense, solid reality around you that you have been auto-generating before you questioned it. We call this pre-discursive. What you already knew to be true before you started thinking, before you started questioning, before you started expecting, before you start consciously expecting a world outside of you, either the opportunities or the limitations outside of you, you have already been expecting pre-discursively. We could also say you have already been expecting subconsciously. There was an expectation for the shape and form of your reality before you thought the expectation in your mind. And your reality will never expand beyond the energetic blueprint, beyond the energetic container that is hosting the reality that appears in it, the nervous system, mental, emotional state that appears in it, the thoughts and values and belief systems that appear in it. And still the entire configuration can be changed at any moment in time if you so choose. With the first step of becoming an original. Thinking and expecting and feeling from your nature rather than from the conditioning. From your core and your individual truth rather than from other people's opinions or expectations or even other people's truths. What is yours? So you don't need to become an original. I am not challenging myself to become an original this year. I am basically challenging myself to be more of myself this year. So I hope that no matter which word you chose for this year, 2026, that you will allow yourself to be more of you, to follow more of your truth, your needs, to believe your best, most benevolent, most inspired expectations on how the world is gonna meet your true sense of self, of how the world is gonna meet your originality. Please let me know in the comments below how this resonated with you. And I am so looking forward to meeting you again next week. Meanwhile, in the short section with a lot of gold nuggets and inspiration for you to shift your state, question your identity, decondition yourself to grow into not your higher self, not your future self, but just your true self that is already within you. Have a beautiful week. Bye.